Anyways, we are in game number 2 in a best of 3, guys. I've got, of course, Todd joining me for this cast. Zombie Girl is not AFK. She's here enjoying the series with us. But, yeah, after some deliberation, we confirm that JYP is the one that's up 1-0. He is once again red, and Oz is once again blue. On the overlay, we've kind of ghettoed in some names there so you guys can keep track of who is who. Spawning here in the lower central portion of the map in this group stage, it's going to be the blue Protoss player. Currently down 1 at the moment. It's a pretty sick game, though. It's going to be Oz.
And his opponent, he won the first game. He's had a few problems with his team. We'll hope he'll be alright. It's JYP.
Now, kind of interesting fact for those who don't know, maybe you're just joining in on the cast and you didn't know what was going on leading up to this. Originally, this group had Stork in it, so it would have been Stork versus Oz. Stork sadly had some complications with getting back from IEM in time, and JYP was kind enough to say he had no problem swapping groups with him, so that was kind of cool.
Okay.
I don't know if he'll regret that decision or not, though. Playing against Oz, he's up 1, so he's probably happy.
If he sees Tempo's video, he's probably going to be mad as hell.
Oh man, that video, by the way, I'm a little bit sad because we had started working on it, and then it was like 3 days before the tournament. Everyone's like, "Yo, we can't do this day. Can you swap us? Can you swap us? Can you swap us?" Ugh, we couldn't rewrite the video. We'd already like recorded it at that point.
Yeah, but that video, man, was so cool.
Yeah, I'm glad you and Tempo and I were both like really afraid people were gonna be like, whatever. But I got some really good reception, and that's pretty awesome.
I think everybody who saw that video loved it, man.
Yeah, I woke up to you tweeting about it, like Grubby tweeting about it. Like it was a really good feeling to know that people actually enjoyed it, because we both put a lot of work into it. But okay, so we got the openings here for both players. Merry-Go-Round's a very different style of map, I think. You know, the third base in this one's a little bit more ficky. English, right? This early in the morning, a little bit more difficult. There we go. To take for I'd say JYP in this situation, because either you expand really close to Oz, or you take that base that tends to be very exposed and out in the open. I mean, we talk about naturals, and sometimes that's where PvP ends. But we saw both players really shoot for the third in that last game, and I kind of expected to go somewhat similarly. But a different
Oz in this game is opened with double gateway, and actually this really brings me back to Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai, in which he played some insane PvPs. I think it was against Hero, and he did something that I ended up naming the Oz build, where you go for double gate like this. Usually it's with a sentry first, and then you get double stalker and you go for a quick expansion. The sentry first allows you to have a hallucination early on to scout with, but in this game it might be another variance. Okay, he gets the first blood, where you get the 3 stalker, you pressure, and then you see what you're up against, which is also very, very strong against something like a Stargate. But if you mess up any single move with this build, like there's no room for mistakes. Say like you lose 1 unit too much, or you lose your mothership core, then you're in a lot of trouble.
I kind of like the idea of going for a move like this, though. You know, you're down in the series, you got to bring it back, and maybe after that first game, he kind of feels a little less confident about going toe-to-toe in the macro game, but Chusin actually hide the Phoenix. Oh no, he's just scouting because he doesn't know where his opponent. Oh wait, no, he already scouted him, so he's just hiding them, I guess. What's this?
Yeah, he's checking for proxies. There could have been a Stargate there, making an Oracle, which is like Merry Christmas if you meet it.
Oh, so Oz just barely doesn't scout this, and the mothership core is gonna die. No recall.
Oh,
you know, we talk about losing units. Yeah, I mean the time warp's gone. Now the high ground vision's gone. Oh,
it's gonna be 3 stalkers. Oh, actually, is he gonna spoil the Phoenixes? Yeah, he's gonna reveal. So I think Oz is supposed to pull back here, because if one of those stalkers get picked up and the 2 other stalkers come in support, then he could lose 2 stalkers and possibly kill nothing. And at this point, you know, he's gone for some sentries behind. He goes for the Nexus plus a Robo. He already knows about the Phoenixes, so I'm surprised he still goes for a Robo.
Phoenixes are kind of weird in this matchup too, because you're not really ever scared of them for the damage. You rarely see a lot of Protoss players go like super Phoenix heavy. But, of course, that crowd control effect could be quite awful. You know, just even 2 Immortals being Graviton Beam taken out of the fight completely is a little bit hard to deal with. But 3 are going to be able to harass, which will be nice.
I don't know what JYP is planning here. If he wants to do a 1 base, I think he might just expand when he sees that his opponent is expanding. Keep on applying pressure with those Phoenixes. We have no blink tech yet from us, so those Phoenixes, they can just make sure they keep on being active. And you know, in this case, it's funny because it's one of those rare scenarios where even though Oz is expanding earlier than JYP, he's not going to be able to mine from his natural for the longest time, or at least not effectively against those Phoenixes, because it's going to be hard.
Yeah, and if he tries to transfer probes, it's just free pickings. The Phoenix, of course, a lot of energy, so a lot of graviton beams available. Sentries have to be a little bit careful. They are light units, so they'll take that bonus damage, and they're quite expensive to lose, but a couple of the probes trying to get picked up. I like that he goes for the gas money ones, too. Not just like random probes, but the gas money ones specifically.
Stalkers in the natural. Whoa, JYP getting a little bit too cheeky here. He's gonna have to be careful.
Oh, Mothership
he's gonna lose it, but I think he gets one of the Phoenixes.
Oh no! 1 HP!
He's gonna kill units. Man, those Phoenixes, they have a lot of energy. JYP is gonna have some sick map control. He actually barely missed the Observer of Oz that's in his base, but actually, ooh, that Observer moved just a little bit. If this was to get caught, he will deny the vision. I think Oz realized that he's basically making Immortals for not too much right now. So he's gonna move out and try to apply pressure. Since he has a lot of Stalkers, this could do some damage.
Yeah, there's only a small handful of Stalkers to counter him. There's a Sentry, of course, waiting to force field that ramp, but I don't know if he can hold his natural through this. I mean, if Oz really dedicates this, he could take this base down. I mean, one Immortal, a small handful of Zealots, this is really not that scary of a force. And he scouts it with the Observer before going down. He can also force field off the ramp.
Yeah. It's almost ready. It's not ready yet. One Immortal is going to be here.
Oh, this is a big deal. Oh, the Phoenix is picked off too? Oh, this is a really good start for Oz. The Zealots are going to get some swipes here on the Stalkers. Force field's working against him on both sides, but the Immortals still stand.
He needs to pick up some units here, possibly one of those Immortals. Both Phoenixes. Actually, he thinks he doesn't have enough, so he's just going to stay in the range of that photon overcharge.
He did prioritize keeping his own Immortal alive, but like that. I mean, he doesn't have many. He needs everything he's got. Zealots being warped in. They're not really going to be that buffer on hold position, just taking those shots.
Yeah, he needs some Zealots, I think, Oz, if he wants to keep on applying pressure here, but I think he's happy with the damage he's done. He's killed a few units here and there. He's traded very cost effectively, and behind this, you see he's corner boosting out probes. He's taken both gases at his natural, so I think Oz is in a pretty good position now. 10 walkers ahead. That is actually insane.
Yeah, and let's not forget too, Oz was in this position where he couldn't mine for a very long time due to those Phoenixes, but with only 2 Phoenix remaining, like, yes, it's still a bit of a threat, but it's not nearly the same as 3, because the Graviton Beam energy is really what limits the damage of Phoenixes here. I mean, they can only pick up a finite amount of probes.
Those Phoenixes take a bunch of damage, and yeah, JYP is not going to choose to counter-attack for now. +1 stars for us as well as a Twilight Council, so I think from here, he just plays it very standard. With some Charge Lords, some Immortals, some Archons, and possibly rushes a third with the economic advantage that he has. Whereas, yeah, JYP has no choice but to go for Colossus.
Yo, I'm not surprised we don't see Blink. It would have been something really nice to help just shut down these Phoenix, because we did see a third one remade behind this, but I think when you start to get to this stage of the game, I mean, Stalkers really start falling out of your tech path. You don't see a lot of late game Stalkers, and for good reason.
Yeah. It's actually really bad, I think, on 2 bases to go for Blink, especially just to shut down some air units. It's so much better to make like a few cannons here and there, and then warp in some Templars ready to feedback. The thing is extremely hard to execute, and so you can feedback them on time and stuff. Yeah,
there's actually, who was it? There's that up-and-comer Gung Fu Banda just came out of WCS qualified for Challenger. He was actually doing a lot of Mothership core feedbacks throughout his course there, so it was actually really cool to watch happen. But yeah, you really don't see it happen to Phoenix too often. I don't think that's exactly the first thing a lot of people think of to shut down a Phoenix either. Like, your focus is on Stalkers, on actual anti-air, not the Phoenix, or sorry, not the feedback mechanic, but can be quite effective.
The feedback is actually one of the best ways. Like, look now, the energy that there is on those Phoenixes, you will damage them so much.
This is a lot of gateways coming down, by the way. It's just got to point that out. 5 in the Templar Archive. So Oz is getting his production up to where it needs to be. On 2 bases, he's mining pretty comfortably. Yeah, we don't really see him rushing out for that third, but that's kind of the dynamic of this map, I think. Like, even though I think Oz has the safer to secure third, it's still not a comfortable thing to try and take when your overall supply is this low.
Yeah, but he's gonna be the one that needs to make something happen, because when you go for this style here, you cannot just wait and turtle against a player who's getting Colossus. Otherwise, he's just gonna get like 4 to 5. He's gonna add his own Archons and Charge Loss, and then from there you're in a lot of trouble because you can't reach this Colossi and kill them, and they do too much damage to your army. So Oz is gonna be the one that needs to make something happen. And look, he's getting a Prism. I wonder if he goes for some kind of 2 base with like a Prism in the main and a big attack in the natural.
It's very possible. We do have those cannons finally coming down, but just can't quite get in range. Too slow are these Templars, so it makes him into an Archon for now instead.
Need more range.
And needs more speed, man. Templar is slow as hell. We could have a race between like an Overlord and a Templar to see who wins.
Wow, actually JYP is the one moving out right now. I'm surprised.
Yeah, he's got a Colossus. He's scouted that there's none from his opponent. I understand feeling confident in this regard, but those Archons might be able to just break that front line. And I mean, the Colossus are not going to hold up to the Immortals. Oh, but the Archons are stuck in the back. The Archons are stuck in the back. Now walking through a Time Warp. He's not able to get in the fight. The Guardian Chest went up for both players, but this is not looking good for Oz.
Yeah, it's looking pretty bad. He's losing everything. GG. Wow.
All right.
Yeah. Something weird happened. He was supposed to have way more Archons and charge loss than he did have. And I guess those Phoenixes in the end, they kept on doing damage.